Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Coronation Street boss reveals biggest story of 2024 involving surprising characters. This month's Super Soap Week saw Stephen Reed's Todd Boyce dramatic reign of terror come to an end. In the aftermath, new storylines have seen Tim Metcalfe, Joe Dutton, struggle with flashbacks from the moment Stephen attacked him, and Peter Barlow, Chris Gascoigne, desperately try to not turn to drink again. We know that Peter Barlow will leave the cobbles over the festive period. Afterwards, Carl O'Connor, Alison King, will receive a huge shock when nephew Bobby, Jack Carroll, arrives. Described as a troublemaker with a heart of gold, Bobby is set to find himself involved in a huge storyline in 2024. I spoke to Jack about the part before he accepted the casting, and he was just going down a mental checklist of everything I was saying and going, yep, tick, that's me, and that's me as well, Ian McLeod told us recently. So I think there is a really brilliant synergy between the performer and the character, and he's going to be a massive ball of energy for us and loads of fun, and he's just going to tip Carla's life upside down in lots of very interesting ways. As a slightly more long-range tease, he's going to end up surprisingly in the center of perhaps our biggest story next year, which I can't say too much about now. But he's got a brilliant classically Coronation Street role to play at the start as this lovable, sarcastic classic Corey feckless male, and then he abruptly finds himself in the middle of this huge story next year, so I'm really excited about the casting and the part and his role in the next 12 months and beyond, he added. The showboss also confirmed that newly returned Bethany Platt, Lucy Fallon, will end up a part of this narrative as well. Bethany's back, and we're all fantastically excited to have her back. She's incredibly well liked around the building. The viewers love her. She's a slightly different proposition now from when we last saw her. There's been a number of years that have elapsed. She's grown up quite a lot. She's had the beginnings of a successful journalism career in London, and she turns back up and is instantly a foe for Daisy, Ian revealed. They're very evenly matched now. Bethany might once have seemed like a younger woman or a girl. She's very much more a woman now, more on Daisy's level, so it's a really heavyweight tussle between these two women, which I'm really looking forward to seeing more of, and actually much like Bobby, Jack Carroll's character, she will also find herself in the center of this huge story that we've got next year. So she's coming back with this clear romantic purpose in the Daniel story, but then will fairly quickly find herself in the midst of this massive story that's going to span most of next year. It's really exciting stuff, and the performances in this character group are just off the chart. I think Charlie has been exceptional across the story. From the beginnings of the stalking right up to now, I think Ryan Prescott has been absolutely fantastic. And at times it's been so hard to watch because it doesn't feel like you're watching a performance. It feels like you're watching a young man really going through this. With the festive season approaching, Ian also hinted at some incredibly emotional scenes with Paul Foreman, Peter Ash, and his family. Paul, who has motor neurone disease, will soon be told that he only has around 6 to 12 months left to live, which means this Christmas will be his last. We're always very keen to keep that family busy so that the medical story is always going on, but like we all have to do when we're ill, contend with catastrophes that are nothing to do with the illness at all. This Xmas, the catastrophe arises from Bernie and her historical involvement with Shelley's slightly dubious online scamming, and it puts her in a massive amount of legal hot water, to the extent that there's every likelihood that she's not going to be present for what will be Paul's last Christmas, and that the family might not get to be together for one last festive moment, Ian said. There's also a really fascinating exploration of their history. That family was scattered before the winds for a lot of the twins' childhood. It wasn't an easy time. They didn't have much money. There was Paul's historically abusive stepfather. There's a lot of really poignant stuff as well. So what we tried to do is make it bittersweet, but as realistic as far as we could. A fitting, funny, but poignant last Christmas, with that fantastic family at the center of it all. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.